Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, sorry guys. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's kiki, which is Tom Sandoval being creepy as ever and hinting or joking about hooking up with Katie Maloney as his BFF and partner, literally in crime, Tom Schwartz, finally breaks his silence about where he stands during the whole Tom Sandoval and Raquel sex video cheating scandal with Ariana. But before we dive in, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out our description box down below and join our newsletter. It is 100% for free. So yes, go ahead and join us. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. So both of these stories are from Us Weekly. The first one, because I think it's better to start with Tom Sandoval joking about hooking up, and then we can move into Tom Schwartz breaking his silence. So this one says, watch Tom Sandoval joke about hooking up with Tom Schwartz's ex-wife, Katie Maloney, weeks before Raquel affair scandal. I have a clip of the video that we are going to watch. I got you guys. So let's go. Awkward. Tom Sandoval joked about hooking up with Tom Schwartz's ex-wife, Katie Maloney, weeks before news broke about his affair with Raquel. The Vanderpump Rules star opened up exclusively to Us Weekly about where they stand with their fellow Bravo personalities while chatting about season 10 of the hit reality series. Schwartz, who is 40, got candid about the aftermath of his 2022 split from Katie Maloney, who is 36, which is currently playing out on the show. The pair finalized their divorce last October. We did like this sort of informal pact to not hook up with anyone from the group, but I don't know how much merit I put into that, the Minnesota native exclusively told Us. If the roles were reversed, it doesn't matter who Katie hooks up with or did or would have hooked up with. Sandoval, 39, cut in and quipped, well, I have something to tell you. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to show you guys the clip so you can see it. But side note, I gotta, Tom Schwartz, you need to shut up. Because number one, just because something would not be hurtful to you, like just because you say you wouldn't care who Katie hooks up with, that does not mean it's not hurtful to her. So it's really disrespectful to be like, well, yeah, I told her that I was going to not hook up with anybody in our immediate friendship group, but I'm not going to put any merit to that. Basically, you're saying you lied to her and you're going to do whatever you want anyway, because you're saying, I don't care who she hooks up with. But that's not fair, because clearly she cares who you hook up with in that particular situation. Now, I get it. They're divorced. They're no longer together. Tom, can hook up with whoever he wants to hook up with. He's a free man. He's a single man. He can do whatever he wants. I get that. But I also think there's something to be said about just basic human decency and basic respect. Respect, you know what I mean? And so I do think it's disrespectful to him to say, like, yeah, I told her I was going to respect her boundaries, but then kind of clown her behind her back. Not to mention how he completely played her and disregarded her feelings to help cover up the fact that it was actually Tom Sandoval and Raquel who were having the affair. He went on with the whole him hooking up with Raquel storyline. He actually made out with Raquel at Sheena Shea's wedding, knowing it was hurting Katie. Again, he's allowed to do whatever he wants, but even if that's a stranger or somebody you're not that close to, if you know what you're doing is hurting someone and you deliberately continue to do it, that's wrong. You know what I mean? That's wrong, especially because it was fake. It's one thing if he actually was like in love with Raquel and wanted to make it work. And he's just like, I know you said don't hook up with anybody in the friendship group, but I happen to fall in love with her. I want to see where it goes, blah, 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 blah. That's one thing, right? That's something you can then go to Katie and talk about and work through it. But knowing that it was all a lie, and you kept up the lie, you kept up the front knowing it was hurting her, that's the part that's really diabolical. But let's keep going. Weeks after the duo's joint interview, Us confirmed on Friday, March 3rd, that the Tom Sandoval and the Most Extra singer and Ariana Madix ended their 9-year relationship after he cheated with Raquel, who is 28. All right. Let's keep going. Now let's move on to Tom Schwartz breaking his silence. Tom Schwartz says Tom Sandoval has a sense of profound sadness after Raquel Leviss' affair. It's effing complicated. Actually, before we do that, let's watch the video of Tom Sandoval, quote, joking about hooking up with Katie Maloney, okay? Here we go. Because again, I just think it's very distasteful and bizarre and weird, especially with how incestuous this group is. But let's watch.
We did make like this sort of very informal pact to not hook up with anyone from the group, but I don't know how much merit I put in that. Like, if the roles were reversed, it doesn't matter who Katie hooks up with or would have hooked up with. Like,
well, I have something to tell you.
I ain't no, yeah. I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, how creepy. I mean, the creepiest. And also, Tom Schwartz, for someone who just got done saying you didn't care who Katie would hook up with, you seem very shook at the thought that Tom Sandoval had hooked up with her. You seem pretty shook, right? So, yeah, you say you wouldn't care, but it seems like you would have that you would care. Absolutely gross. Absolutely gross. All right, let's get back to it. Okay. Speaking out, Tom Schwartz broke his silence after news of Tom Sandoval's affair with Raquel and subsequent split from Ariana Madix made waves. He says, Sandoval's okay, I think, relatively speaking. I mean, he has a sense of profound sadness, rightfully so. I think he feels like a piece of S, and to some extent, maybe he is. Schwartz, 40, told TMZ on Saturday on March 11th, but he knows he effed up. The whole thing is just really sad. Schwartz, who was at the airport while speaking to a videographer, said that the storyline was too crazy to be written for Vanderpump Rules, and he hadn't spoken to Raquel since the affair was made public. However, he voiced his concern for Ariana, who was in a relationship with Tom for 9 years prior to their split earlier this month. Luckily, Ariana has a really good support system and she's with her friends, Schwartz added. I'm not sure where she is. I hope she's living a good life, just indulging. I hope she goes on a living spree. I'm just hoping this whole thing blows over, Ugh. Schwartz owns businesses with Sandoval, and he hooks up with Raquel in the current season of Vanderpump Rules. Naturally, fans are speculating if Schwartz knew of their scandalous romance, but he wouldn't confirm nor deny the rumors. You'll see it played out on the show he teased. I mean, obviously, side note, Schwartz definitely knew. Kristen Doty said on her podcast that Schwartz knew a month before the news broke, but I think he probably knew way longer than that. Don't forget, it was the whole back in April, people were saying, oh, Raquel was spotted making out with Tom at Coachella. Well, Tom Schwartz was like, I wasn't even at Coachella. So clearly he knew the rumor was supposed to be about Tom Sandoval. And again, that was back in April of 2022. I think Tom Schwartz has known pretty much the entire time. Randall, Lala's ex, also came out and said that Tom Schwartz told him about the affair. I don't think that Randall knew who Tom Sandoval was having the affair with, i.e. Raquel, but he did know that Tom Sandoval was cheating on Ariana because Tom Schwartz told him. So Schwartz clearly knew for a long time. But let's keep going. The Minnesota native did, however, deny that he kissed Raquel to help her and Sandoval's affair. No, that's not true unless I was a pawn in the game, he said. Duh, of course you were a pawn in the game, and you kissed her as a way to cover it up. Like, come on. It's effing complicated. That's the understatement of the year. I think Tom's okay, he said of the situation, which has become known as Sandoval. Really, I'm just sad about the negative impact it's having on our business, but I think cooler heads will prevail, and I'm just going to keep on going. Schwartz and Sandy's, one of Sandoval and Schwartz's restaurants, addressed the backlash they received from Pump Rules fans amid their owner's involvement in the cheating scandal. In light of the recent news, we appreciate the many words of support, but we also understand the outpouring of outrage that has been directed towards our businesses. A statement on the business's Instagram page read on March 4th. However, those of us who are not famous have dedicated our time, hearts, and money to make this restaurant a reality. Ooh, the shade. The shade of it all. The bar and lounge requested that critics keep in mind that Sandoval isn't the only one affected by negative comments, reviews, and threats. Our staff, from the waitresses and bartenders to the cooks and dishwashers, all had nothing to do with this unfortunate situation, the eatery added in the statement. Please take into consideration that posting negative comments affects more than just the individual you may be upset with. I get it. I don't condone, the negative Yelp reviews or any type of in real physical life, like storming the restaurant or threat or any type of threats of like physical harm. Like, obviously, none of that. We don't condone violence. We don't condone any of that stuff. And there are innocent people in the situation. However, unfortunately, when you work for someone else, that is always a possibility that when the people at the top get exposed or there's blowback or there's backlash or they're involved in a scandal, unfortunately, it trickles down to the rest of the company. When the founders of Uber, that their whole scandal came out, it trickled down to the rest of the company. Anytime any founder has a scandal, whether it's stock options, whether it's whatever the case may be, it trickles down to the rest. I'm not saying it's right. I don't agree with it. But unfortunately, that is a side effect of any time you work for somebody who's not yourself. If you are a part of their corporation, if you're a part of their business, and particularly when they're figureheads, i.e., they're the named person or they're a personality or a reality star or whatever it is, it trickles down and it's not right. I'm not saying I condone it because I don't. But unfortunately, sometimes in business, that's what happens, Anyway, let's keep going. The TomTom owner issued an apology to the Florida native on Tuesday, March 7th, after initially acknowledging the affair without even mentioning her. Dun 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 dun. It is a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. It is a mess. It is a mess. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys first? What do you think about Tom Sandoval creepily joking that he made out with Katie Maloney? Now, I don't believe that to be true. Obviously, he was joking. Obviously, him and Katie have a very contentious love-hate relationship. Tom Sandoval's always been jealous of the relationship that Katie and Schwartz have had. And then, what do you think about Tom Schwartz saying, like, not confirming or denying if he knew about the affair? I think he knew about the affair. And also, what do you think about Tom Schwartz saying that he did not kiss Raquel as a way to cover up for Tom and Raquel? I think that's a lie. I think Tom Schwartz knew Raquel and Tom Sandoval were having an affair. And I do think that he actively chose to participate in the cover up. I don't think, because nothing else makes sense. I don't think that Tom Schwartz and Raquel ever were really into each other. I think the entire time it was all a way to cover up for Tom Sandoval. And I think that he's lying about it now because he's seen the backlash where we're like, wait a minute, you hurt Katie, you used her, and you hurt her continuously to help out Tom, Sandoval, and Raquel to keep up their lie in their front and their affair. So I think he's lying now to cover his own butt so he doesn't get even more backlash. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out the description box down below and join our newsletter. It is free. You get self-care and wellness content delivered straight to your inbox for free. So with that, you guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.